It was finally said out loud by JP Morgan, the biggest bank in the world. Digital goods will be for sale. Let's start this off. There are also a lot of new Bitcoin-related videos from Larry.Frink. In other news, there are some changes to the way Bitcoin and Ethereum are going. Let's talk about some strange things going on with XRP next. There are more fun and hit jobs going on right now at the digital assets place. There was also more news from CME and XRP. This is what the movie is about. To begin, let's play this. To begin, let us play them. How to store crypto assets is another big thing that banks are thinking about. Last week they told Citi about this, putting forward the idea that they will start their own service to store coins. This also holds the coins and Bitcoin. What is the most important thing you need to do right now to deal with your digital assets? Do you also going to start it? We're on the side of JP Morgan. That's not likely to happen anytime soon. I believe Jaime made it pretty clear at Investor Day that we would be taking care of that. We can't give control right now, though. We need to think about how much risk we're ready to take and how far we want to go from trade and other parts of it. Then I think care would come next. We do need guards, though. That is why we are looking into who would be the best people to watch over our business as it grows. Who do you believe would be the best person to look after JP Morgan? Based on the different ways they work with Coinbase, I believe they would talk to Coinbase. After meeting in the fall of 2025, they have been together ever since. Not just XRP and Ethereum will be available for people who want to buy crypto. On Coinbase, you can use your Chase ATM card to buy money. I don't know what their plans are for having kids in the future, though. We talked about Bitcoin at the time, so I know they're thinking about it. It was used by thieves and people who wash money. That's fine. But the markets teach you to never be sure of what you think you know. Silver and gold both have their place. To put it another way, it's a choice. It's not something you should put a lot of money into, but it's not a bad thing to have if you want to spread your money around. Did say that this part is interesting. You know that Larry.Frink only talks about Bitcoin as a way to store value, and not as the next big thing in technology, right? From now on, Bitcoin will not be used to buy things. It will be a digital cash store instead. Bitcoin seems to have backed itself into a corner from which it can't escape. Okay, Tom Lee, you do have some ideas about the price. Also, I just don't get this guy, Arthur Hayes. In that sentence, he still talks about Bitcoin and Ethereum by the end of the year. Pay attention to what they say. Also, Arthur and Tom, this has been great, as there are 2 months and 3 weeks left in the year as of October 6th. One more question for all of you. Bitcoin just reached a new all-time high of 126,000 USD. On the 6th, before the crash, this was caught on tape. If possible, I'd like Ether to be worth more than $5,000 this month. Arthur, what do you think Bitcoin and Ethereum will be worth at the end of the year? That's why I'm going to do it. 10,000 ETH and $250,000 in Bitcoin. $10,000 worth of ETH. Do you think FES will go up even more in the next 2.5 months? Yes. Okay, Tommy, you fell off very quickly. What matters is what your price goals are for the end of the year. We were 2 months and 3 weeks early. What do you think ETH will be on December 31? What do you think Bitcoin will be? You might think that Bitcoin will be Bitcoin. We want to reach 200 to 250,000 people by the end of the year. Our goal for Ethereum is between 10,000 and 12,000, more important than Arthur even. That's pretty much it. Okay, you got it. They still think that these things will be worth a lot more in the next few months. Still, this statement is pretty stupid. I'll play it first, and then we'll get the facts straight, as we always do on this station. What if you say XRP is silly? Brad and the trust own all of this stuff. After that, the army bought and sold those shares. 286 or 289 as a goal. Almost certainly, the price would go down to 0 if the trust sold all of those coins. In order to be sure, Tony Edwards should question everything he says, right? Many people own a lot of XRP, including Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. However, XRP hasn't said how many coins he personally holds, so no one knows. Most sources say that he has a large stake in Ripple, and that his 6.3% stock in the company is where most of his wealth comes from, not his XRP wallet balances. Most likely it's not about how much XRP the company has, but about how much of it he owns. We'll forget that Brad joined a long time after the first writers. It's not clear where everything is? Take a look. How much XRP does Brad Garlinghouse really have? Take a look. Take a look at this. It's crazy how much false information is being spread about XRP right now. That means there's usually something big going on that everyone knows about, doesn't know about. He's criticizing by saying stupid things like, say that like XRP. You got all of this stuff that Brad and the foundation owned. That's when the army bought those shares back and approved them. People can buy and sell XRP and Solana options. The underlying futures contracts were settled as the two systems worked together smoothly. You can trade both big and small sizes, giving you a lot of options. It looks like CME is adding more tools. For Solana and XRP, what does it all mean? What are the most important parts of CFTC registration? These options are regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. This makes it easy for big players to follow the rules and know what they're doing. Because the options settle into the futures contracts for Solana and XRP, instead of cash, they are known as physically settled contracts. This makes it easier to use them with bigger risk management tools and gives you more options for trade sizes. Laura Belgrave did write this after having worked for a while in global banking. I now know that real change doesn't just happen. It doesn't stand out. Ripple's technology has already been used on the same systems that are used for Visa Direct, MasterCard Send, and American Express. This is where the tests will be. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express are all using Ripple's tech behind closed doors. During settlement, messages will no longer be sent. Instead, value will be moved. This paper is also here for you. In the past, American Express has used a blockchain-based system that was made by Ripple. A lot of this has already been on the channel. The features list says that the Exchange Information Network is the largest blockchain payment network, among other things. A lot of people use American Express's fast blockchain-based payment system, which they built on the Ripple platform. It makes you wonder what else is being worked on under the Ripple platform or that arm there. I believe that the US and Ripple could reach an agreement on these points, but that's just my opinion. A piece from American Express about Ripple and the places I work can be found here. American Express, Visa Direct, and MasterCard Send all of Express International payments work with the same method. This is where the tests will be. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express are all using Ripple's tech behind closed doors. During settlement, messages will no longer be sent. Instead, value will be moved. This paper is also here for you. Ripple made a blockchain-based system that American Express works with a lot. A lot of this has already been on the channel. It says that the Exchange Information Network is the largest blockchain in the features, payment network, and so on. Many people use American Express's fast blockchain-based payment system, which they built on the Ripple platform. You must be wondering about that, right? What else is being worked on under the Ripple platform or that arm? I believe that the US and Ripple could reach an agreement at these points. But that's just my opinion. American Express put together a report called Token Insight Research. In it, Ripple talks about the purple countries. These places will let you use Xcurrent. After that, there are the green countries, places that back XRapid. This piece of writing looks old. Star Trek.